what is the method? What is the sauce?
Yeah.
And how you're able to help not only just adults, but youth maintain the motivation?
I make everything. I came from throwing parties back in college, right? I make everything about a party, right?
I like that.
So if you go to Jab's gym right now, it looks like a nightclub inside. So it's a boxing gym. From the lighting to the sound system, we add music into all the workouts, and just really make it more about the social aspect of it than it is about actually physically working out.
Welcome, everyone. We are back for the Know Your Rights Camp podcast. It's your boy, Sean Tory.
Peace. It's your friendly neighborhood psychologist, Dr. Milo Dodson.
And we're back at it again here in Detroit for 2024 Know Your Rights Camp. And we're going to have a phenomenal time. And with phenomenal time, which means we have phenomenal people who are motivated, who are extraordinary, who are noble. You know what I'm saying? We have a great gentleman in our midst, Mr. Armond Rashaad. How you doing, good sir?
Man, Sean, appreciate that intro. That was pretty legit. I'm doing really well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. The owner of Jab Vibe, correct?
Yep, Jab's Gym. Yeah,
Jab's Gym, my opinion.
Yep, cardio kickboxing gym in downtown Detroit.
Oh, man. And so, like, with that being said, we're going to have Mr. Dr. Milo kick off the first question, good sir.
Good, sir. So first question for you, as we're thinking about how you got here today, can you maybe share a little bit about your journey with physical fitness and how that led to the creation of Jab's Gym?
No, absolutely. I started first with physical fitness because I had a passion to essentially defeat diabetes, right? My grandfather, Granddad Rock as we call him, he's 86 years old school from Alabama, and has had diabetes his entire life. And I thought to myself as I was growing up, and I'm going to defeat this thing, right? Just in a very almost ignorant way, just saying, man, I could defeat diabetes myself. And so I started very young with a passion for fitness, and I played football in college. And after that, I started to run this town movement in the city of Detroit. Went to Chicago and, went to Kalamazoo, multiple cities to just try to eradicate, health, eradicate obesity and diabetes.
So with that, what do you plan to really teach our young black and brown kids at the camp about how they should take their health seriously?
Yeah, well, first I plan to, make them aware of the problem, right? We are specifically here in Detroit, a city that, Forbes magazine ranked the most unhealthy city 2 consecutive years in a row. And so it's important the kids understand the problem at hand, right? There's a lack of access to green space, healthy eating options, and a surplus of fast food options and convenience stores. And so one, let them know about the problem, and then tell them how we can move forward in fixing the problem.
So in fixing the problem, I guess in order to fix a problem, we kind of even have to identify what the problem is in the first place.
Absolutely.
Right? And we know sometimes there's a lot of barriers and even access barriers to health.
Absolutely.
And so I guess the question here is more along the lines of how have you helped folks maybe from poor communities, black and brown folks in poor communities specifically, how have you helped kind of increase that awareness to move towards healthy eating and exercise?
Absolutely. So my biggest initiative today is to run this town movement, which is a free fitness program, right? Where we're on the Detroit riverfront, and we have all types of people out there, and everybody can come and do a 5K. You can walk it or you can run it, right? And so we have a model of personal best there, and it's all about collaboration over competition is another one of our models. And it's about getting outside, getting moving together, right? We're obviously here in the Motor City, so everyone drives everywhere. I don't know how long you guys have been here this week and kind of experiencing it, but everyone drives everywhere because our industries are supported off of the car industry.
Right.
And so now, it's the idea of telling people, hey, you can just walk down the street, right? You can go for a run on a river walk. Hey, the grocery store may not be in your neighborhood, but there's a convenience store, and they more or less likely have fruit, right? Just step by step or inch by inch, having to make different choices of putting down high fructose corn syrup drinks, right? Putting down the Takis. That's what our kids love, the Takis, right?
They'll get you too.
They'll get you for sure.
Yeah, you're just motivating them to grab a banana or apple at least once a day, grabbing that water instead of a pop at least once a day, just inch by inch, getting them to move in the right direction of a healthier lifestyle.
So what is the method? What is the sauce
Yeah.
in how you're able to help not only just adults but youth maintain the motivation
Sean,
to stay fit?
Man, I feel like we practice this because that's a perfect answer or a perfect question, right? For me is I make everything. I came from throwing parties back in college, right? I make everything about a party, right?
like that.
So if you go to Jab's gym right now, it looks like a nightclub inside. So it's a boxing gym. From the lighting to the sound system, I had my friend who owns a nightclub here help me out with the sound system to make sure it was club-like, right? We got lights and it's like this environment of it's like a celebratory environment. And so even when we even speaking to the kids, I've always make it exciting. We add music into all the workouts and just really make it more about the social aspect of it than it is about actually physically working out.
Man, first of all, I like that for so many reasons.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing you say with making it a party is you're appealing to someone's best interest and what actually makes them happy.
Exactly.
Versus saying like, hey, I'm going to tell you what you like. I'm going to tell you what you need to do. Similarly, I'm wondering, even from your perspective, like you personally,
Yeah.
clearly you have been at this for a while, right? How do you maintain your motivation? How do you help your team maintain the motivation to continue to inspire the team and to grow everybody at Jab's Gym?
Well, I think from getting a couple of things right, I think it makes it that much easier. I think in the beginning when it was just we had a super small team, and it was just me showing up every morning at 4 or 5 a.m. to open the gym. I think we were struggling to pay bills in the beginning. I think that's the tough part where the motivation may slip. But now it's such a cool environment where we have great catered food options that come in. The team, we go out to dinner probably weekly, where it's really this motivating thing. And then we have, a large following where people are showing up. Over 100 people per day are in classes at Jab's Gym. In our one downtown location.
100 people per day?
Yeah, per day. So this is all like, it's kind of a class-based gym where you can't just walk in, you have to actually register for class. So I think now that it's been almost a decade and people kind of want to work for the Jab's Gym brand, they come in with an attitude to inspire, right? Our motto is that, people lead, right? People first, and the numbers follow. So the numbers on the scale and the money in your pocket as well from a business standpoint.
Wow. So then my question followed with that, what's the nutrition conversation like for anyone from Jab's Gym?
So I know that the nutrition piece is daunting, right? I remember one time I just bought Jab's Gym. I was 26 years old, and I was telling a young lady, I'm like, you shouldn't be eating that, right? I was hardcore fitness guy. You shouldn't be eating that, is what I told her. And she said, Armond, I come work out hard at this gym every day so I can eat this. And so I realized in that moment that a lot of people get tons of enjoyment when it comes to eating. And so I think of it as a way of just making slight changes instead of taking things out, right? Often diets say, no this, no this, no this, no this, right? And even as kids, we don't want to be told no, let alone as adults. So what I try to do is just use alternatives to say, hey, maybe you can not use fruit juice, right? I mean, we can not have fruit juice or not have pop, right? Maybe you can just have that water. I like these very small, easy to understand changes in our diets because I think that gets us closer and closer rather than trying to force someone to count their macros.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because who's even going to pay attention to macros when you got Takis, right?
You got Takis, right? Like
Like
macros
I don't
are
want
Takis,
nothing to
right?
do with macros, man. These Takis are hitting.
I still don't understand how Takis are hitting like that. It was hot Cheetos and cheese back in the day.
I used to
just don't-
love hot
you know what I'm
Cheetos.
saying?
I just love hot Cheetos. Let me tell you, one day I had 4 bags of hot Cheetos, and we had a whole case of, remember Red Bull
Why
first came out?
you clutch your
said
pearls real quick, man.
He said 4 bags of
4
hot
bags
Cheetos.
of hot Cheetos. Like, I was
Anything
like
past 2 is like, what you doing?
I was a fanatic. I was like a hot Cheeto fanatic. I had red fingers. I was a hot Cheeto monster when I was a kid.
Okay.
Loved it.
Wow.
Yeah. We drank tons of Red Bull too.
And so you took Red Bull too?
Yeah, Red Bull was like the thing.
There was another drink, not a Red Bull, it was a
Bull.
Monster. It was a
Monster, yeah,
back
it's like
in
a
the day.
competitor to Red Bull, like energy drink. Yeah, you
yeah.
can stay up all night.
When you're coaching people now, do you reframe it in a way where it's not just, I'm going to show you this alternative, but I'm also going to show you this while simultaneously like appeal to what's interesting to you? So I'm
100%.
teaching while I'm also listening at the same time. Is that
Absolutely.
accurate?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I think that what we'll find is that you can go to the same restaurants you were going to. Outside of like fast food, for the most part, you can go to the same restaurants that you're going to. It's just an idea where even on my Instagram, I show what I'm eating, and it's not just like a salad all the time, right? Because the idea and the myth behind it is everyone thinks that eating a cleaner diet or eating a health conscious diet is boring, right? Like if I say let's go get pizza, everyone's like, oh, let's go get pizza, right? But if I say, hey, let's go get this salad, everyone's like, all set on that, you know. So it's just about just these small changes with the physical activity of getting outside, right? Adding in more water. I think that we can start moving in a direction that leaves us living healthier lives.
So then, I think essentially last question for you.
Yep.
What's the takeaway that you want our Black and brown youth to have pertaining to their physical health, also essentially spiritual health,
Absolutely.
as well as what they intake?
Yeah, I think one takeaway is that no food is inherently bad, right?
Yeah.
No food is inherently bad, and anything in moderation is generally okay, right? The exception of drugs, of course.
Right.
But when it comes to nutrition, is you can have Takis, but maybe make it a Friday celebration thing versus the everyday thing,
Everyday
right?
thing, yeah.
Hey guys, I know you guys love playing Fortnite, right? But maybe go outside give me 30 minutes outside before you go play Fortnite, right? It's just these small little changes that make them think about it. And then as they get older, it's gonna be easier to transition into those healthy decisions just because they were teased with it when they were younger.
And I'm even hearing you say to break it down into short, obtainable, SMART goals, essentially.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Making it, and for folks, obviously specific, measurable, attainable, relevant.
Yeah,
and
SMART goals, yep.
Yep. So break it down that
Absolutely.
way. Yeah.
I love that, yeah. Because it can be daunting, right? Like this many macros, this many, it's like a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even for you, I'm sure too, like, the information and you're human.
Right.
So it's not just about having the information, but maintaining the motivation, because whether it's Takis, for me, I talk about this all the time.
God, yeah.
My two best friends, Ben and Jerry's.
Yep.
Oh,
Right.
wow. Ice cream guys.
Man,
He
listen,
is.
we're not here to talk about me, but yes.
He is.
So I have to make sure that I'm doing that in moderation, because
Yeah.
health for me is also really important.
Absolutely.
And so it's balancing some of the joy, like you spoke about earlier, that we get from food, right? But also the desire to be healthy and do that intentionally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I love that. No, it makes sense.
But man, thank you so much, Armond. It's been a pleasure to
Yes, I
sit here and
appreciate it,
speak with you, Dr. Milo. It's always good co-hosting with you, my brother.
Man, it's an honor and privilege, man.
Honor.
You two brothers are inspiring.
Man, listen, we continue to do the work. Everything will work out. But most importantly, let's make sure we continue to make an impact for these kids, because these kids are our future. They're the ones they have to transcend the ones before them.
Right, absolutely.
So let's make
Absolutely.
sure we do that. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Please follow us on our social handles, Your Rights Camp. Please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Know Your Rights Camp. And please, if you want to learn more about Know Your Rights Camp, please make sure you follow us on our website, knowyourrightscamp.org. And we'll catch you next time.